What is going on? I'm zmoT. It's my favorite day of the week. That's right, War Factory Day, not warships. I'm going to try to get through this entire video without making that slip of the tongue. Anyways, let's have a look at all of these grapplers. This is absolutely ridiculous and looks amazingly fun. We've had layouts like this the last little while. I'm not sure we've had quite this many grapplers, but on the left hand side we can obviously get rid of those rockets if you wanted to, then go back and get the shield gens if you choose to do so. We're not going to do that today. We're going to just burn through all of this ridiculousness. I don't even know where to start, to be honest. I think that it would probably be best if we got rid of these flamethrowers up the front and then moved somewhere in a gap so that we're in the blind spot of all sorts of grapplers, but it's going to be a very, very weird one. Just to make things slightly more difficult, we've got some Flotsams over here, but overall, this is just, let's see how much health is on this. So 2.6 million, more like 3.1, 3.2 million, so lots and lots of health. Burning that core is going to take a lot of work. Let's see how much health is on these shields. 100,000 health, so low levels will not be able to barrage those shields. Even high levels would take probably 3 attacks just to barrage all of the shields. So on those max level accounts, maybe we'll give that a shot later on. Also, maybe you can just send Bullet back there to get those shields if you have the patience to do that. Let's just go right, I suppose. This is going to be very, very ugly. Let's just give it a shot. I really, really don't like the looks of this. Now, realistically, I should be using all sorts of rifles with my zookas, but I'm not smart enough to have made that choice. So we managed to get over here only losing about 2 zookas, it looks like. I'm going to mark this in here, hopefully be able to get, see that shock, I mean that universal remote, hoping to keep a couple of the grapplers busy, but it's not gonna be super pretty. Now, I'm not even expecting anything to get rid of that flamethrower. I was just trying to delay the grapplers by a second or two. Doesn't really help all that much, and as soon as this flamethrower is gone, we're gonna retreat. My only goal for that entire time was to get rid of those flamethrowers. Managed to clean things up a little bit. Lost 34 zookas. Not a ton. Should be able to refill those fairly quickly without instant training. Obviously, I do have instant training in the shop, as you can see there. Only active 24 more days. Lots of time left. Realistically, we probably should be using rifles here. Let's see what we've got for tank life leech. If you want to use tanks against this, you are a braver person than I am. I will not be using tanks. They're just going to be thrown everywhere. It would be hilarious, but I'm not going to be doing it with my level 1. Actually, maybe I think I have a level 2 tanks, to be honest. Anyways, let's have a quick look. I'm going to try to park in some of these grapplers' blind spots and then just see how clearing goes. I am not terribly hopeful, but it'll be interesting. Anyways, so let's just get going. We're going to drop Everspark first because I really, really don't want to lose her. I don't know how useful she's going to be in this instance, but just dropping her first should at least get us a little bit of extra help with the free critters. I'm also going to hit the hack button. Going to get rid of that cannon there, I assume. We're going to find out very, very quickly just how ridiculous this is. Going to throw a shock very early on. Getting that hack out. Everspark getting rid of maybe 2 cannons. There aren't many grapplers actually reaching for us at the moment. We're not doing too badly, but grapplers have so much health that these low-level zookas are just grinding away, trying to do anything here and not making a ton of progress. Not losing as many troops as I would have thought, though, because we're just in so many grapplers' blind spots, but not gaining GBE as fast as I would like. Just see, they're just sawing away at those grapplers. So we are making a bit of a blind spot here, but it's just such slow work. Going to be very, very difficult for low levels to burn through all of these grapplers without losing all of your troops. So probably going to need to use a little bit of patience. On these kind of days, I like to just clear my map, and then once War Factory comes up, drop my troops, do as much damage as I can, and then wait for my troops to load, if I don't have instant training, that is. Obviously, we do have instant training, so a little bit of a benefit there. The biggest issue is for using, what are we going to call these? We're going to call these squishy troops, using either zookas or rifles or heavies or whatever you might use. You're going to have to deal with either the hot pots behind the core or the flotsams in front of the core. So you're going to have to deal with one of those. I chose to go towards the flotsams just because I can actually throw GBE on them. We got rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 grapplers that round. Not bad, not super great, but we're just going to keep burning through this. Now, I'll do things slightly differently on my max level account, but on this account, we're just going to keep burning through this, letting our troops get underneath that one smoke, trying to conserve all of the GBE that we can. Now, we can gap smoke a little bit. If your troops pop out, it's not a big deal. No lasers around. There are no concerns about anything except for single shot defenses and these back flotsams. So we're just going to shock all of the things and then just burn again like a dull chainsaw trying to cut through. We're just going to do everything we possibly can to clear as many of the grapplers as we can. It's not sexy. This is not a fun, awesome attack. I don't really know that there is a way to do a fun, awesome attack on this because grapplers just aren't great. And I really do wish that they were involved in the Mega Crab, but we don't have that option, sadly. So I'm going to come over here. If we go over to that left-hand side, we're going to have to deal with that Flotsam. And Flotsams against zookas are not super fun. A, they explode. B, they do splash damage and will wreck all of your troops. But we managed to get through almost... See that? Throwing those big, huge, slow rockets they like to fire. We're doing not bad. We've now done 3 attacks, and we're almost done with the grapplers. So I'm feeling fairly okay about this. Gonna get some GBE on this grappler, hoping to get rid of it. So many grapplers. Now, I'm very curious. We had a ton of grapplers probably about a month ago. We definitely didn't have flotsams, and I'm not sure that we had the grapplers behind the core. I'm very curious if someone wants to compare one versus the other. I'm very curious to see what the actual results were. Let's go one more time. Just pure brute force today. Not the typical way that I like to do things, but sometimes you just have to do it. And this should be fairly straightforward for a lot of players, which is also a very, very good thing. The fact that, I mean, we are using smoke here. You don't really have to use smoke, but I would highly recommend trying, because even if your smokes are a little bit off, it's not going to be a big deal. It's far, far better to just try to smoke, and War Factory is all about trying, in my opinion. Get your troops attempted, and that way you can hopefully work on your smoke, so when you come to an operation attack, you're going to be a little bit stronger, a little bit better of a player. Let's get back into here. And now, I'm really... Uh-oh, did we lose Everspark? I think we did. And as a result, was not able to activate that hot pot on our own, so very, very bad danger at the moment, but I think we should be able to just keep clearing behind this core, getting all of those grapplers and machine guns and things, and then we should have a nice little blind spot. So definitely not super pretty. This attack, nothing about any of these attacks was overly difficult or overly hard to duplicate or replicate or whatever the term there is. I always get duplicate and replicate mixed up, by the way. But we're just going to try to get rid of this grappler. Might have been able to finish just by sitting there. I kind of doubt it, though. So I'm just going to force my troops forward, let them die, and by doing so, hopefully speed up the need to retreat. Maybe get that boom cannon down. I kind of doubt it. I think it's actually faster to let them die than to retreat. Those are the kind of decisions you have to make with instant training. Is it going to be faster to retreat or just to let my troops die? And I think in this case, it's faster to let them die. So we're just going to let them sit there, and we're going to come back. And at that point, we should be able to finish this with 0 or close to 0 effort or skill. And that's kind of the goal of this whole lazy War Factory thing, is just trying to do things as easily and lazily as possible. I know that there are people out there who try to solo War Factory every time, and I appreciate them, but the feedback that I've gotten from all of you over the years and years that I've been doing these tutorials is it's just not easy for, or not even impossible for people to copy, generally speaking, when it comes to trying to solo the War Factory. So I'm just trying to make this as easily repeatable as possible. And this one is, anyone can do this one almost, like, certainly, because there's not a lot of skill here. Kind of like my warships hit yesterday, not a ton of skill required. Oh, I lost the hack there. A little bit unfortunate. And now we're just going to come back and park against this back wall and burn through that 3 million shield. I'm going to keep these Flotsams shocked just because I got nothing else to do with my GBE, and they might range 1 or 2 of my zookas. I kind of doubt they would, but might as well keep them shocked as long as we possibly can, just to keep our troops alive. Burning through 3 million shield, not a big deal for this many zookas. If even 1 or 2 grapplers were in range, there's a chance we might fail though, so make sure you get all those grapplers down. If you've ever attacked redline or tried to free snipe redline without taking the shields, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Grapplers take, and same thing with Trinity, I suppose, on Duplexity. Grapplers take way more troops than you would expect, and they do way more damage to your overall damage per second, DPS, than you would expect them to. So that's the difficult way. That's the low-level HQ way. You can also choose to go left and hack some of these rockets and then go get the shields and do a core hit, but that's going to be far, far more difficult, and I would recommend trying it, but I'm not going to do that as the attack to copy on this channel. So now we're going to switch to a max level account and do things slightly more lazily and differently. So I'll be back in just 1 second. Hello. I didn't even realize the snow was turned on. Let's turn that snow off. That is all magical special effects on the recording side of things. What troops do I have loaded? I have rifle and bombardiers loaded. Whoops, that's not going to be super awesome. This account does not have instant training, so that's what we're going to go with. It's going to be different / interesting, but I'm really curious to see if we send Mr. Bullet back in here, if we can get all the shields down, because that is just an easy way to save some GBE and maybe get all of these shields down. My only concern is that rocket launchers and Bullet, because his damage resistance is per shot, rockets shoot 15 times, it's sometimes can be very, very dangerous for Bullet, so we're just going to have to see how his health does. Also, all of those mortars, you see how fast his health is going down? Probably not super duper awesome to use Bullet back here, but his energy drink might be able to keep us going for a little bit. Let's throw a shock on those, just hoping to get Bullet out front. Now, you see, we've managed to get 1 of the shields down. Let's see if we can get a second one down as well. Gonna throw some critters out here. Let's shock some mortars as well. Doesn't look like Bullet to get the shields down is super great, but as his health goes down lower and lower, he actually shoots faster and does more damage. So you actually want Bullet to take damage as far as you possibly can, and then use your energy drink just before he dies. I haven't gone over that in a long time, but we managed to get 2 shields down, so that's likely the easiest and fastest way to get those shields down. Using GBE, you're going to have to use probably 2 attacks per pair, so use Bullet, send Bullet back there, get those shields down. That's going to be 2 easy attacks. Now my Bullet is maxed, my energy drink is maxed, and my internet is not working. This is where it gets scary, where you can see that satellite dish trying to do its thing in the bottom left. That's the easiest way to lose an attack. Okay, there we go. Finally, internet kicked in. We're going to do exactly the same thing with Bullet. We're going to walk him up, gap smoking him, not a big concern. Rockets tend to miss. They shoot in behind, and we're in basically all of their blind spots there. I'd actually be curious to see if you can clear all of those rockets using bullet as well. But that is far less of an issue for us today because we're more focused on getting the shields down. I'm going to throw critters right into here. And I'm going to throw a shock right onto there. And just try to get all of these shields down as fast as we possibly can. So, Bullet, we're going to watch his health. Let him get as low as we possibly can. Do the Bullet limbo, perhaps we'll call it today. I'm just making things up. As soon as he gets as low as he can possibly go, hit that energy drink, and that way you can guarantee he's going to do as much damage as possible. The more red he is, the more damage he does, and hopefully we can get these last 2 shield gens down. I don't know that we're going to quite... There we go. So all the shield gens down, losing 0 troops. And now we've got a little bit of gunboat energy where we can try to clear some mines, such as back here. And then we're just going to try and hit the core using the ridiculous combo that I've got loaded. So that's going to be interesting in itself. Might want to farm some GBE ahead of time, but we're just going to give it a shot. This is likely going to cost me some diamonds. Not entirely sure what's going on with my internet here, but hopefully we're not going to lose any attacks. And at this point, I'm actually going to use Taunt, because there's nothing more fun than watching Bullet gets torn across the map by 50 different grapplers, taunting them all. And then we're just going to do this. It's going to be a failure. I'm 99.9999% certain, but it will hopefully be a fun failure. So let's get all of our rifles out front, hopefully getting all of our troops underneath those smokes without losing them. And then we're just going to do a long walk in the park, trying to get as many troops as we can alive, back to the back corner. And then it's going to be ugly and messy. And 1, 2, 3... lots and lots of smokes, because the bombardiers love to spread themselves out like crazy people. And then we're going to flare the core and shock the hotpot and the grappler, and then just hopefully take this down. Bullet is going to get passed around at some point, but just ugly. There is 0 point to our hotpots or our rifles or anything at this point. They were taunted at some point. Might almost take them down. They're very confused. Oh, look at that. So pretty darn close, actually, for the ridiculous troops that we're using, as Bullet just gets passed from left to right to front to back. Absolute silliness. Do I recommend bombardiers with rifles for that attack? Not a chance whatsoever. But it actually came pretty darn close. I can't wait to check that health on the headquarters or the core or whatever the heck it's called. Kind of concerned about my internet right now, but we'll get into that later on. Hopefully it's just me, not the actual Boom Beach servers. Look at that. So all we need to do right now is load 1 boat of troops. I'm going to diamond some rifles here. 13 diamonds, probably the best way to go. Yeah, let's spend 13 diamonds. And then we can just... Now, I know I am very in favor of the ability to attack without having any troops loaded, but I guarantee if they were to implement that, people would hit attack and then realize they had no troops. So maybe a warning that says, are you sure you want to attack with no troops? Because I would definitely have wanted to attack with no troops on this one. So we'll call that a solo. I mean, we managed to take it down with only 1 set of troops, so a solo in 4 attacks is what we're going to call that one. Maybe that helps you out. I think getting Bullet for those back shield gens is a great way to go. I don't have troop health, so my Bullet is likely somewhere in the neighborhood of 30% less healthy than you, and his energy drink does 30% less than yours does if you happen to have troop health. So I would consider sending Bullet back for those shield gens and then doing a Zooka core hit or a all rifle core hit or an all heavies core hit or something fun like that. Hopefully this helped. Let me know if your favorite day is War Factory as well, or if you prefer Hammerman Attacks or Dr. T or Imitation Game. Anyways, that's it for me. I'm zmoT. Thanks for coming in. Peace!